Hi everyone. This is week 8 and 9 video together because I just didn't have time to do it last week. But let me just say there is such a thing called triggers that create setbacks, and setbacks are going to happen all the time to you, as just did to me. One was a emotional, psychological. The other was just vacation. So let's see, week 8, I actually got down to 159, like 159 and a half, something like that. And that day I got a phone call that set me back. And I didn't realize it as it was happening, but the next thing you know, I weighed 162 on the day that I left for my trip. And it was disappointing, but I chose to look at the first 7 weeks of my little liquid diet experiment as proof that this setback is not going to hold me back. And I did take my shakes with me on my trip. It was not the funnest thing to go through airport security with protein shakes pre-made in a little ice bag, but I also had my MS injectables with me that have to be refrigerated, and so I had them on ice as well. And yeah, I had to go through airport security for them to check each item in some machine that checks to make sure that I'm not gonna blow the plane up, that I'm not bringing explosives on the plane. So, and I just told them I'm on a special diet, and those are my, that's my food, and I can't have what they have on the plane. I can't, I mean, it's not true, but when I got, after we checked into the hotel, I went to the nearest Walmart and I bought a $11 blender, and I did make shakes every day. The first couple of days, I did pretty good. There was a scale in the room too, which was really cool, both for monitoring my weight and also the weight of the suitcases on the way back, because they can't be more than 50 pounds. And so it became really evident, like I just had salad and vegetables on the first day, which is similar to what I'm doing at home. I may have eaten a few bites of meat, but the next day there's these garlic shrimp shacks, and Lord help me, I couldn't stop myself, but shrimp's like the lowest fat protein out there, like that you can get. So it's also the easiest to chew and digest after you've had weight loss surgery. And so I ate a little bit of corn on the cob, some salad, and I was still pretty good. So when I kind of went off the rails was the next to the last day. So I'd already taken 1 injection for my MS, and then the second injection I was totally and completely justifying my food addiction with my situation. And I did the whole I feel sorry for myself ice cream. But this ice cream was so fucking good. And I'm a chocolate person. Let me just say, I'm a chocoholic. I usually, I'll eat ice creams that aren't chocolate, but generally speaking, I gotta have chocolate in the bowl. This coconut macadamia ice cream was heaven in a bowl. And so I actually went back later that night for a second scoop, and they were closed. And at that point, that mentality of scarcity set in. Can you believe there's gardeners? Anyways, so when we went to check out of the hotel in the morning, I was hell bent on getting that second scoop of ice cream. I was not leaving without that second scoop of ice cream. And I stood in line waiting for them to open, because yeah, there was a line of people waiting for them to open so that I could get another scoop of that ice cream. And according to their scale, I gained 2 pounds. Yeah. And when I got home and stepped on the scale the next day, it had been 3 pounds. So at that point, I weighed 165. I did not the first day home. I can't say I was really good either. But the next day I got right back on track, and within 2 days I was back down to 162. So I can sadly report that for 2 weeks I didn't have the results that I was looking for, but I kind of just remind myself, you know, fuck, you've been drinking shakes for 2 months, you know. I enjoyed myself regardless. I enjoyed myself. So I'm back on track, and the setback has turned into a comeback. So my next goal is my birthday. I'm going to be 50 at the end of this month. And at this point, let's see, that's about 11 days. So if I got down to 162, I think it's reasonable to try to get to 158 for my birthday. That was my goal for the trip, and I almost made it, were it not for that phone call. So I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. But so my next goal is my birthday. I'm shooting for 158 on my birthday. And more triggers. My mom came home from Bible study yesterday with chocolate croissants, chocolate-filled cookies, muffins, some other jelly-filled pastry, cinnamon raisin bread. Like, what the fuck? So I was bad last night. It was stupid, but I can say I am grateful that I'm not a heroin addict, because the way I act when I fuck up and I go crazy with it, it's usually not a little fuck up, and I can't even stop myself. Like I need to like go to bed, have a reset overnight, and wake up and do better the next day. But fuck if I couldn't stop myself from reaching into that damn cookie jar thing. So I've talked about it a lot in my videos about the surgery not being a quick fix. It's nothing that's magic. And what it will do is it buys you time to figure out why you overeat. And it may be many reasons why you overeat. And I learned earlier this year with another trip that there's one person in particular that has really shaped me as a person. And part of that shaping has led to the weight gain. And for me, it's my daddy issues. So never feeling like I had my dad's acceptance or approval, and never feeling good enough for my dad. And that was the phone call that I got. My dad was in town. And it's almost like I just blacked out in my head and went some other place and gained 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds in a couple of days. And to a large extent, I'm at peace with my relationship with my dad now. And I'm at peace with myself. Like, I am figuring out how to stop seeking other people's approval and stop being the people pleaser and accept myself, which I have many times throughout my life. Accept myself for who I am, exactly as I am. Because if you hate yourself, you're not going to be nice to yourself. And that includes eating healthy and taking care of yourself and exercising, whatever that all entails, and all the things that we need to do for self-care. And if you've found yourself having weight loss surgery, exploring weight loss surgery, whatever it is, know that you need to start researching extreme self-care. We need extreme self-care. And I was actually really proud of myself. My dad, who is wildly conservative, and I'm more of a tree hugger, progressive. I was talking to him, trying to tell him a story about these metal straws that I got, so I'm not using so many plastic straws. And so he asked me why I had them. Why do you have those? And I know what was coming afterwards. And I'm standing there in my kitchen and I'm looking at my dad and I'm like, what? What was that? I didn't hear your question. So he asked again. And I just took a really long pause, and I'm really proud of myself for this. And my answer to my dad was, I don't want to play. Because this is a game I can't win. And it's not going to be good for Michelle. And fuck, that's taken me 50 years to get to that point. So I'm really proud of myself for that. So then after I was sitting there for a little bit, I actually got the courage to go ahead and confidently tell my dad why I bought those straws and why I use them. And that I care about the planet and the universe and the ocean and our ecosystem. And I care about leaving a legacy for my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to have a home. Earth is our home. And I wasn't about to let him go on his 30-minute rant about whatever the fuck it was he was gonna say. Wasn't gonna do it. And I just said, I'm reducing my footprint. I know I can't save the planet with one fucking straw, but I'm certainly going to do my best to try not to harm it. So one little step at a time. Anyways, that's where I'm at. Proud of myself, did good. It was a relaxing vacation, and I had a really good time. So, and I'm glad to be on track. Oh, there's Lizzie. Want to say hi, Lizzie? Mm-hmm. So my cat's trying to join in on the fun. Anyway, so this is just a reminder not to let your setbacks be a holdback, and that you can have a comeback. And the comeback can be better than the setback. So So I guess that's all I wanted to say, and I'll catch you guys next week. Mahalo.